Around the world newspapers this Monday for that. Florence VILLEMINOT is with me in the studio.
Catherine.
Hi there, Florence. Now, a lot of international papers have been focusing on China in the wake of that deadly earthquake in the Sichuan Province, including obviously the Chinese press itself.
That's right. It's on the front page of China Daily today with this quote from the Prime Minister Li Keqiang: "Rescue every person." And in their editorial, China Daily applauds the country's swift response to the disaster and points out that, well, this earthquake happened in an area where another earthquake 5 years ago happened, and China Daily in their editorial says, well, the lessons from the earlier quake have been learned. The nation was clearly better prepared this time. The response was quicker. The rescue workers were better organized, etc. So other papers are looking at this as well and wondering, what are the consequences going to be for China? What is the economic consequences going to be for the Sichuan Province? Well, the Wall Street Journal takes a closer look and indeed compares it to back in 2008. Now, after that 2008 earthquake, there was an impact on the economy, as you can see in the middle graph there, that big dip there. Right. But as you can see, the region bounced back quite quickly, and the Wall Street Journal points out that, in fact, rebuilding can boost growth.
Well, let's hope that does help that devastated area and the people there, of course. Moving on to another story, a terrible story that's been shocking a lot of people around the world and in India. Indian newspapers reacting to these reports of the kidnapping and the rape of a 5-year-old girl in India.
That's right. Well, the Times of India points out that unfortunately this is not a rare phenomenon, and they actually have a report that's based on national crime records that show that, well, according to them, India is no country for children. According to this data, over 48,000 cases of child rape were recorded between 2001 and 2011, and they actually point out exactly where those rapes happened. And the Times of India points out that, well, this is just the tip of the iceberg, because often these rape cases actually aren't even, don't turn out, aren't told to the police.
And of course, we're focusing in this on India on the back of that very famous rape case in December, where a young woman was gang raped and then killed on a bus in Delhi. So that comes in the context there.
That's right. And the Hindu points out that, well, 4 months ago, the country exploded with rage. The laws changed. They were bolstered. The laws against sexual assault were bolstered. Yet, according to the Hindu in the editorial, India continues to be unsafe for women. So what is needed? Well, the Hindu says what's needed is a major change in mentality, especially within law enforcement, where they say that the law enforcers continue to be callous and indifferent towards victims of sex crime. And until that changes, well, the laws won't be applied.
Okay, so an awful lot of changes needed there, it seems. We're moving across now to the US. In the wake of the Boston Marathon bombings and that spectacular, incredible manhunt, the scenes we saw there, obviously that's coming in for a lot of attention in the international press.
That's right. A lot of the press is focused on the suspects, the alleged, two brothers. And the Wall Street Journal says we don't really know very much about them yet. All we know is that they're from Chechnya and of Muslim faith. And according to the Wall Street Journal today, they say, for now, the U.S. government watches right-wing extremists because we know they're dangerous. And, well, the police shouldn't refrain from doing the same thing to Muslim or immigrant groups, because so far they tend not to do that because it's not politically correct. But the Wall Street Journal says, as the Boston bombing shows, the cost of not doing so is very high.
Okay, very interesting there. I think we're going to move on to another story also.
In the Wall Street Journal as well.
In the Wall Street Journal, sorry, yeah, thanks very much. So again from the Wall Street Journal, an in-depth article about an unusual business, we put it that way.
That's right. It's an unusual business. It's the business of marijuana, actually. Now, 2 states, Washington and Colorado, have legalized marijuana for both medical and recreational use. A lot of other states also have legalized marijuana for medical use. So what is the pot business like now that it's legal? Well, the Wall Street Journal says it's actually going through growing pains. It turns out it's quite expensive, and prices have gone down due to competition. They have this great quote from one man who produces marijuana who says, "We were the bad guys, now we're still the bad guys, but we pay taxes."
Okay, interesting American take on that. Thanks very much indeed. Florence VILLEMINOT there with our international press review here on France 24.